So, okay, guys, thank you for coming out. My name is John Johnson. I'm excited to share what we've got with Kala, Nui, Symmetry, and this wonderful opportunity that we have. This call is being recorded, so I will post this at Nui Global Leaders and on a couple of different sites so people can have access to it. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into this. So, what we're going to talk a lot about tonight is primarily Kala and the ecosystem that we're creating for our own cryptocurrency. I say I and we a lot. I am an affiliate member of Nui, so I do not work for corporate, but I am one of the, I guess, main field leaders in the company, so I know quite a bit about what's going on at corporate, things of that sort. And so I love having these calls once a week to either share updates or just talk about the business in general and everything. So tonight we're going to start kind of a little bit about blockchain and some not really, we're not going to dive deep into blockchain or what it is. I always tell people they can kind of research that on their own. And but it is something that's a great technology that's kind of sweeping the world right now. And a lot of companies are really taking a serious, very close look at blockchain. So this slide here, I've got a lot of links on this presentation. So anybody that wants a copy of it, I'm happy to send it to you. And you can kind of go through the links and do your own due diligence and research. But here on the right, I just listed 6 of the top 50 companies that are really taking a look at blockchain technology right now. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. Cryptocurrency, obviously Bitcoin started out 9-10 years ago or whatever. And anyway, so since then there's been over 2,400 additional cryptocurrencies. Some have done really well, some haven't done anything at all. And there's reasons for that. And the market's been up and down and all over the place. But it all started years ago with Bitcoin. It's never caught mainstream. It's never caught on to mainstream yet, but it's kind of edging closer and closer. So the question comes up a lot, will cryptocurrency become more mainstream in 2019? Now, there's a lot of reasons why it hasn't, and there are a lot of reasons that it could. And so there's a lot of different CEOs of different companies that have different thoughts and things on it. So this is an article down here that kind of shares several different opinions from CEOs and what they think about cryptocurrency and what it's going to do. But I can tell you what I'm excited about, and the reason I'm so fired up about Kala and what we're doing over at Symmetry and Nui is because of these keywords here: usability, wallet management, user experience, ecosystem. These are all words used by different CEOs, third-party CEOs of Nui that talk about cryptocurrency and what needs to happen to help assist cryptocurrency in going mainstream and retaining value, things of that sort. A lot of the coins that have come forward, a lot of them just grew basically off of speculation. There wasn't a whole lot behind them. And so people are really starting to zero in and key in now, and they see how important it is to have these different types of things with their coins or their currency, being, once again, usability, ecosystem, user experience, things of that sort. And so as I go through Kala a little bit tonight, we're going to talk a lot about these things. This is a video I've got embedded in the presentation. I won't play it just for time's sakes during the presentation, but it's about 3 or 4 minutes long. This is Darren O'Lyon. He's our CEO of Nui. Nui is a marketing company. Symmetry is a main company that created Kala. So 2 different companies, basically sister companies of each other. But what I love in this video, and you can refer to it at any time, is Darren talks about the infrastructure. He's also talking about where crypto mining is going and where, a lot of things are kind of happening behind the scenes. And if you don't stay caught up and you don't stay engaged, it's going to kind of pass you and you're going to kind of miss the ship. Or if you don't lock arms with the correct places, it's really something that you can kind of get burned in or just really miss out on. But it's very important to kind of follow this technology and get as ahead of the curve as you can with this technology, with blockchain. So that's just a video again that you can talk to. Now, another thing Darren talks to in that video is we've got 3 working blockchains through the world of Symmetry. We are creating an ecosystem. We do have a usable wallet. You have 100% complete control of your Kala wallet. We are creating a great user experience. We are creating ways for Kala to be spent, to be used. There's a lot of different things being created within our own ecosystem that we feel very strongly is going to create a large demand and a lot of value for our coin. Now, obviously, I will never say, hey, I think it's going to be worth X amount. I would never do that. Nobody should ever really do that, because you never know what the market's going to do. But all we can do is really create the ecosystem, put everything into place, and allow other companies to kind of come in and lock arms with us while we're building this project. So a question I get a lot: why would companies, instead of creating their own blockchain, why would they use ours? Why would they use a third party? I used to sell medical collections for quite a while, quite a few years ago, and I can walk into surgical centers, large hospitals, anywhere from little doctor's offices to huge chain hospitals, and a lot of companies would just, it's very natural and it's basically normal business for them to farm it out, just kind of say, hey, this is not our primary business, we want you to take care of this. Very true in blockchain as well. Blockchain is something that's specialized. Not everybody can create a working blockchain or an effective blockchain. You have to really know what you're doing. And so a lot of these companies, they'll say, you know what, we're going to just go ahead and lock arms with the company who has created what we're looking for. And Symmetry is attracting a lot of attention right now. There will be some major announcements here shortly. I will not get into what they are tonight. I'm going to basically allow corporates to make those announcements, but there already have been a few announcements that we will discuss tonight that were publicly made on NASDAQ and other places, Yahoo Finance, and different places, of groups that have joined, locked arms with us, and have helped create an amazing ecosystem. So what is the value of a blockchain network? Instead of reading this, again, I don't like to read my own slides and things of that sort. Obviously that's for the end user to look at and read through it and research and take as long as you need. But things such as fault tolerance, attack resistance, collusion resistance, increased security, there's things when you study blockchain and you study cryptocurrency and really blockchain, you're going to learn about nodes, you're going to learn about networks, you're going to learn about all these other things. Well, one of the biggest values of a blockchain network, especially where companies really look at, is the security. It's hard to hack a large network. For example, when you hear about nodes, and I'm not going to get into nodes and all that stuff tonight, that's for later discussion, more for the deeper crypto enthusiast. But say you have a network of 10,000 nodes. In order to hack that network, you're going to have to hack over 50% or so of those nodes to be able to get in, to break into that network. So security is a big, big deal. It's a big part of the draw why certain companies would be attracted to good blockchain solutions. So let me go ahead and just hearing a little bit of feedback. So let me make sure I mute everybody. Moving on. Okay, and another thing I love about Nui is we have something called Nui Educate. So these are actually a couple short articles off of our Nui Educate. You can log into Nui Educate. You can learn all about blockchain, cryptocurrency. You can learn what Kala is. You can read the Kala white paper. There's a lot of different things, a lot of research you can do just by navigating through our blogs, all sorts of things. But I love this comment here on top. When decentralization is combined with wide distribution, an even stronger system is created. In this way, a true decentralized and distributed network becomes valuable and attractive to companies, entities, and users. In Darren's video, if you ever watch that, he says that the secret is us, it's the network. It's our ability, Nui's ability as a marketing company to work with Symmetry, Mintage Mining, and crypto experts to go in there and create a network of thousands of users worldwide that have the ability to use Kala. And we're going to talk about a peer-to-peer network we've created and different things later in this presentation. But the more users on our network, the better, because we have more members that can buy, that can sell, that can trade, and do certain things. As our ecosystem continues to grow and build, we'll hear other things about groups being able to accept call it as a form of payment and things of that sort. We're doing a lot of things behind the scenes right now to create a wonderful network that we believe can be very sustainable for a long period of time. But one of the draws for these companies coming in to use our blockchain technology is the fact that we're creating a large network of members all around the world who have Kala wallets, who have Kala, and it's growing every single day, which is really, really exciting. Really cool stuff. So this right here, on NASDAQ recently, back December, just last month, December 20th, 2018, we had a couple companies that joined our efforts, and it's really exciting what we're doing. So one of our main goals is when our network reaches the target threshold of 40 petahash and 10,000 mining rigs, or actually 10,000 nodes, it will be placed among the top blockchain and cryptocurrency networks. Okay, right up there, somewhere between Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's going to be way, way up there, which is really, really nice. And that's exciting for us. For those of you that are crypto enthusiasts, you'll probably understand exactly what I'm saying. There's those of you that are new, you're probably scratching your head. It's like, what the heck is a petahash? What the heck is a node? Again, you can get with the person that introduced you. You can go through that, or you can research it on your own, whatever you like to do. Just for time's sakes, I don't want to get into all that tonight because there's already a lot of stuff to cover in this presentation. But what's so cool about this public announcement, and you can literally click on this link right here, and you can see 4 articles. The main article and the 3 articles to the right of it that are related to this one article. And basically what it is we've got companies that have come in and created a $250 million fund to assist us in the creation of our ecosystem. So, and another company that just put $40 million into it. This is just a direct investment. So really exciting stuff. You'll learn about PRTT, you'll learn about AES, and there's a lot of things they're doing right now, and a lot of these things will come forward. I believe March will probably be a month that you hear a lot of different newer announcements. I know of 8 other announcements that will be mentioned soon through corporate. We're just at the beginning of creating this wonderful network. And another thing you'll notice when you read through this, you'll see the name David Childs. The reason I bring him up is David Childs is the CEO of Mintage Mining. Mintage is a sister company, kind of more or less of Symmetry, Nui. We all work together. And David Childs is also the CTO of the company that's kind of helping consult all of these groups coming into our ecosystem. So when you read David Childs' name in these articles, that's the gentleman that they're referring to. So a lot of really exciting things going on for our ecosystem. Right here is just a link to our white paper. So I always tell people, you may have missed out on the Bitcoin train, and depending on how you look at it, maybe it's not too late to get in, maybe, whatever. But right now I'm more focused on Kala and other things. Kala just, again, after reading the white paper, after learning about what they're doing to create this ecosystem and this network, it's very, very exciting what's going on here. So you can kind of read the white paper. You can read Kala's Road to the Public Exchange, which they anticipate will go public mid-2019. We did not want to rush, and in fact, when you read that article, you'll see why we didn't want to rush. We did not want to be a speculative coin. We didn't want to become another pump and dump. There's things that you've got to build the infrastructure. You've got to put the ecosystem and things in place prior to going public, because by doing so, you're protecting the integrity of the coin, you're protecting your network, you're protecting your investors, you're protecting everybody that's part of this awesome, massive ecosystem. And it's very, very important to do that. So putting the puzzle pieces together, this is what's really interesting in what we're doing. A couple of us know a lot about what's going on behind the scenes, but we can't come out and just say everything. That's why I refer you to these articles. Do your own due diligence, do your research on it, and then you can kind of put the puzzle pieces together, what's going on behind the scenes to create this ecosystem. So again, there's another article off of NASDAQ that talks about the $250 million fund, AES and Only Funds. Only Funds is a new name of PRTT. That was a pharmaceutical company that wanted to do something in cryptocurrency. They're changing their name to Only Funds. And the reason I'm telling you this stuff is to give you a little bit of background, so when you read these articles, it's easy to follow it. You can really kind of see what's going on. So anyway, AES and Only Funds launches Only Chain focused $250 million fund. It will mention David Childs, it'll mention different things, but that's part of the ecosystem that we're developing, because we have people that are very, educated in cryptocurrency is a good way to put it, especially David, and a lot of other people that we work with. And we're very connected in this world, and we understand the importance of creating actual use for our coin, for Kala, and again, the user experience and everything. If you can't use a cryptocurrency, it's really doesn't have a whole lot of value, and that's what a lot of people need to understand as they really kind of study and research cryptocurrency. 8 reasons to acquire Kala. In the video below, you can click on that again in YouTube. Walks you through them. International network of users growing on a daily basis. Kala is building its own ecosystem, which will allow people to purchase goods and services using Kala. Okay, Kala raised millions in its initial offering. Kala has its own functioning crypto wallet with thousands of users, again growing daily. Peer-to-peer listing networks where members could actually go in there and list Kala right now. And I'll tell you what's going to happen March 2nd. It's pretty exciting, which is going to create more demand for Kala within that peer-to-peer network. Really, really cool stuff. Partnered with one of the world's leading cryptocurrency law firms, Jones Day. Feel free to Google them, read about Jones Day. There's a couple of videos on YouTube about him, different things. Jones Day is one of the largest attorney firms in the world, but it's also Mark Rasmussen and his group are very good when it comes to cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of articles about them, regarding them and cryptocurrency actually, that you can look up on your own. Kala has launched its own working blockchain. Symmetry actually has 3 blockchains. Okay, Kala does have its own, obviously. Already mined over 1 billion coins amongst thousands of users, which is really cool. So the path to success, this is what I'm excited about. External use cases and internal use cases. All this stuff being created prior to going public. Very, very important, okay? Peer-to-peer listings, I talked a little bit about that. Starting March 2nd, every single person who enrolls in Nui to purchase gigahash agreements with Kala, gigahash agreements for Kala has to use Kala to purchase it. And so they're going to have to purchase it from one of our members who have an active listing on the peer-to-peer, or they can purchase it directly from the person who signed them up if that person chooses to sell his or her Kala at that time. Those listings went live last week. There have been some purchases made back and forth. They are adding a feature in there that will show what the average purchase price has been and things of that sort. And you can kind of follow it just internally to create kind of a marketplace for Kala even prior to going to those exchanges. But it's going to be very awesome and amazing starting March 2nd when all the new people coming in wanting to purchase these Kala gigahash agreements, which is the only place they can get Kala now outside of Core, and we'll talk about Core here in a minute. They'll have to go in there and purchase Kala from an existing member, which is really, really cool. And we'll just let the market kind of do what it does, allow it to organically grow from within. Core Reach. Core is a place, and this is really exciting for a lot of you people, I'm sure, that have been doing Core activities for the last little while. Now you can convert Core points into Kala. Every 2 Core points equals 1 Kala right now. That, I believe, just came out yesterday or the day before. I know it was this week. So a lot of people were really excited about that, and people have been able to do it. That is a really cool thing. So that's another internal use case, right there. Core. You can use the points in Core and go to Reach and purchase items and services and things of that sort. We haven't even gotten into comp chain and other things that will come out later. That's for a future presentation, but that's where we're having a lot of companies talking to us right now about coming in and actually allowing people to use Kala to purchase items and services from them with Kala, which is really awesome. So that's a whole other beast. That's one additional piece to our ever-growing ecosystem. A lot of different things rolling out between now and June and July prior to us going public that I can't get into yet because I haven't launched yet, but I'll allow corporate to go through those. Another thing that's really cool is we're teaching people simply how to become coin collectors. When you ask a lot of people, especially over the last couple of years, how they made a lot of money in cryptocurrency, they collected coins. They kind of sat on them. They traded some. They sat on others. They bought and sold. They did whatever. But what's really cool about this, everything in our universe is Kala. So we're going to select 9 additional coins that we believe will be valuable cryptocurrencies that you can purchase and mine through us. But in order to purchase any additional coins, you have to at least have a Kala gigahash agreement of $50 or more. You have to have a gigahash. So everybody who collects any additional coins through Nui or Symmetry has to have a Kala gigahash. And you can get them as low as $50, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. So we have great products, like I said, as low as $50, $100, $500, $1,000, and $4,000 agreements or contracts where you can come in and mine Kala. You can literally get Kala. It closed on the ITO at 2 cents. You can get it now for a penny, okay, for half of what it closed at in the ITO, which is awesome. The additional cost will cost you about 3 cents, $50, and I'll show you how that all looks. But the monthly maintenance fees or mining fees, you're basically paying a penny for Kala, and when you get up to the higher ones, the 500, 1,000 or more, you're actually paying like 0.28 of a cent. So for Kala, so right now is a very great value for people. Our members receiving a reoccurring income from the monthly hosting of the Kala contracts. That's another thing too. You can refer others into our network, and by growing the network, not only are you adding people to what I like to refer to as Kala Nation, but you're also able to receive commissions, residual commissions, by referring members if you choose to do so. You do not have to refer members to receive Kala. You do have to refer them to receive residual commissions, but not to receive Kala. That's what I love about this, because there's a lot of companies that you have to recruit to make anything. Not in this one, okay? You can receive Kala no matter what, just by having a gigahash agreement. And really it depends on up to you what size you want, things of that. So you can just come in as a coin collector, okay? Or you can come in and as a member and refer a couple people and get your Kala for free every month, because you'll refer enough members to make the $15 or $30 a month it costs to host the mining to continue receiving the Kala. You can get it for free just by referring a few people. Or you can come in there and say, you know what, I want to be a network and I want to make a lot of money on the back end while I'm waiting for Kala to go live in June or July or whatever, and even further on, because I don't want to sell a lot of Kala. I want to hold it longer, but I want to make money. So you can be a beginner or you can be an advanced marketer. It really doesn't matter. It really depends on what you want to do. So the 4 terahash mining contracts. This is kind of the granddaddy of them all. This is what a lot of people want to work up to, and it's up to them, what they do. But what's so cool about this, these are numbers as of recently. Okay, these will change because we are mining 6 million Kala per day. So as more members join the Kala network, obviously the daily Kala payouts will diminish. It will get lower over time, because obviously if, say, you have 6 million Kala a day and then 10,000 people join the Kala network in the next year, then we won't be receiving 4,000 Kala a day anymore. We'll be receiving less than that. Those numbers will go down. So now's the time to get in. But at the same time, the more members in the network, the larger the network. As the ecosystem develops and builds, the hope is that the value of Kala will increase. So that's a great thing too. But I tell people to get in now, and you can get Kala for very, very, very low cost, and then kind of ride that train, allow this ecosystem to be built, take part in building the ecosystem by referring people, and kind of see what happens, and we have really high hopes. We have projections of what we think it may be worth, as much as we can. With a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, we'll never come out and say what those projections are, just because, A, we're not allowed to, and B, we wouldn't anyway, even if we were allowed to, just because, you never know what the market. You never know what the market. So we just always want to be upfront and honest and say, hey, this is what we've got, and this is what we're doing to help increase the value. So this is just kind of looking at that. If you were to get a $4,000 mining contract right now, and you're paying $115 a month, over the course of the year, you'd pay $5,380. Based off of the numbers today, where you're receiving approximately right around 4,000 call it a day, at a 2-cent valuation, which is where call it is now, which is, that's where it closed with the initial token offering at 2 cents. You would be able to cash out about $28,000 worth of call it within a year on a $5,380 investment, which is not bad. If it doubles to 4 cents, 57.6 or whatever. So that's that's where those numbers are coming from. Could it go lower than 2 cents? Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything can happen. Do we think it will? No, but anything, you never know. Based off of our understanding of cryptocurrency, and how it works and how to gain traction and value and things of that sort, we believe that it's going to do pretty darn well. So these are kind of what we show people when they're looking at getting in a $50 gigahash, $100 gigahash, 500 or 1,000. So for $50, you get approximately 1,500 call it for the month, for the first month. Then if you continue paying $15 a month, you continue receiving 1,500 call it a month. If you stop paying $15 a month, you no longer receive call it. This is all month to month. There's no annual contracts, nothing like that. If you pay the $15 a month, you will receive 1,500 call it, which is about a penny a call it. $50 is about 3.3 cents for the initial 1,500. 100 call it gigahash, same thing, approximately 3,000 call it per month at a $30 a month maintenance fee. Now, anybody who's ever mined crypto, you know that there's mining fees every month, whether it's in the form of you're paying a higher electric bill because the power is just crazy, the heat and everything generated on those machines or rigs, as they're called, or you can go to colocation and data center, and you're going to pay right around anywhere from $80 to $120 a month, and sometimes more, depending on what state you're in and whatever it is you're mining. There's different variables, so there's always a cost to it. So what's nice about this is a very minimal cost, and it's right around a penny per call on the monthly fees. But if you do the math here and you take $42 on a $500 gigahash where you're receiving 15,000 a month, divide that by $42 and see you're at about 0.028 of a cent per call, which is currently valued at about 2 cents. And so really cool stuff. But again, those values go up and down all around, all over the place. Okay, so it's our job at Nui and Symmetry, or I guess just to say their job, but our job as members to promote and help them create this ecosystem. But they're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes without us, without our help, which is really cool, with the companies coming in that are very interested in either A, using our blockchain, invested in the ecosystem, or just coming in at different levels and whatnot. And again, read those articles I referred to, and also look forward to other public announcements coming out. They'll all be done in the form of a public announcement, which is really cool. That's what I love. We're not just telling people we're building the ecosystem. We have proof that we're building the ecosystem through public announcements coming through places such as NASDAQ, Yahoo Finance, and other places. That's really, really cool. That's one thing that's very exciting about this. So commissions, let's talk about all right, John, you know what, I would not mind referring people, and if I get paid on the back end, even better, because I want to bring people into Call Nation. I want as many Call users as possible to help with this overall ecosystem. This is how the commissions look. If you refer somebody and they purchase a $50 gigahash, you make $2.50. And then monthly, you'll make about 50 cents on them every single month, all the way up. It says 25 here. I need to bump it up to 50. So it's changed to 50 cents. If they purchase a $100 gigahash, you'll make $5 initially, and then TVS commission is $10. Well, you make $1 a month on every member, whether If you brought them in, you'll keep making a little more. But if somebody else brought them in underneath you, you'll keep making $1 a month. Same with all of these other ones. So from the 100, 500, and 1,000, you just make $1 a month, $1 a month, $1 a month, and the team grows. I can tell you right now, I've sponsored about 40 members. I'm up right around getting close to 2,000 members, and so I'm able to receive commission on it. I didn't sign up 2,000 people, not even close, but I signed up about 40, somewhere over 40, and I help others. But it's amazing how quickly these can add up, and it's nice because my commissions pay for they more than pay for my monthly maintenance fees. So I've created a surplus for myself just by referring people. So basically, essentially, I'm getting free call, which is really nice. And everybody can get there, and it's really up to you how aggressive you want to be. So this slide here, this is kind of how it works. These are for the people that are like network marketers and stuff, want to really understand how this works. This is a very simple 3x10 matrix, forced matrix. And so how that works is, for example, you sign somebody up, they'll go on what you call your front line. And it's 3x10, so your front line has 3 people across the top. If you refer one person and somebody else refers, like 2 people drop underneath you, or whatever, you get 2 other people on that front line, 1 person, you will be paid on everybody on your front line. If you refer a second person, you'll be paid on everybody on your second line. If you refer 3 people, you'll be paid for everybody on your third line, all the way down 10 lines. So it's a total of a little over north of 59,000 potential people you can be paid on monthly. The cool thing is this, though. It's $1 per month per coin that they have. So say they get Kala, they'll say, okay, great, I want to call it. But then say Comp Coin comes out, because they've already announced that they're going to be doing Comp Coin next, and then the other 8. And they decide they want Comp Coin. Well, now you're making $2 a month. Say they get all 10 coins, you're making $10 a month on that member. So each member, you can make up to $10 a month on it. Now, there'll be additional ways to make even more commission off of each member. Those will roll out. I will allow the Keystone leaders to kind of talk about those additional things, but there's 2 other ways that you'll be able to earn commission coming up shortly, and I'll let them announce what those are. But the cool thing is, this can add up very, very quickly. And so the goal is just to get 10 people in your personally enrolled network, and all 10 of those people will be receiving call at a different level. Either they're doing $50, $100, or whatever. So they're going to receive anywhere from 1,500 call a month up into up to 4,000 call per day if they purchase the 4,000 terahash. So it really depends on their comfort level, how much call they want to be receiving, and things of that sort. But here's the beauty of it. The attrition is very, very low, where a typical MLM, if you go in there and you refer people, they're buying overpriced products and services that they're trying to push on their friends and family that they can go to Costco or somewhere and buy for a 1/5 of the price, sometimes a 1/10 of the price. So that's not what this is. If that's what this was, I would not be doing this phone call right now. I want Kala. I absolutely love Kala. I love everything to do with the ecosystem, everything they're doing with Kala, and I want to basically increase Kala Nation as much as I possibly can, because I want others to have Kala as well. I want as many early adopters that can get in and get this awesome cryptocurrency right now. And so that really drives me to do this. Yes, the commissions are wonderful and stuff, but you can make commission on a lot of different things you do. I want people to have Kala, because I'm just hook, line, sinker, hook, line, and sinker, totally committed and sold on Kala and everything about it. This is kind of a chart of what I just basically spoke about, where you can make up to $10 per month per member, depending on how many coins that they have. Here's another beautiful thing. Kala goes live in July. Now think about this very carefully. I think this is very important to remember. You can start, once Kala goes on a public exchange, you can sell it for Bitcoin and cash it out into money, right? You'll be able to. What if you take some of that money and you buy, and you start mining coin 2, coin 3, coin 4, coin 5, all the way through coin 10, using Kala you just sold? Now you're playing with house money, and you're creating a cryptocurrency portfolio. Go back 20 minutes in this presentation. Question was, how do people create wealth for themselves in cryptocurrency? They were coin collectors. And then when they cashed out, that would depend on how much money they made versus what they purchased it for versus what they sold it for. But instead of just going in and purchase coins, mine the coins, receive as many coins as you can, take some of those coins you mined and use that to purchase additional mining gigahash to create more opportunities for you to hit on other coins, which, by the way, are hand selected that by people in the industry that understand these coins. We vet these coins very carefully. Okay, they have to kind of be on that same trajectory. We need to say, hey, are these going to have use cases? Are they going to be, what do we believe these coins? Because that's our reputation. That's everything to Nui and Symmetry. We're not just going to throw 10 coins out there and say, oh, here they are. Okay, these coins are very, very hand selected, and they go through a pretty vigorous process, before they're added. But again, all these coins you do your due diligence on. Don't just take my word and say, oh, I'm going to buy all 10 coins, John. Don't say that. Just go in there, do your due diligence, read the white paper, read all the plans behind those coins, see what they're doing, and say, you know what, I may want to dabble in that, or I may want to really jump in. That's 100% entirely up to you what you do. But the nice thing about it is when you can start selling that Kala, you'll be able to do this. This slide right here can be very confusing. So I'll just and we're almost through this presentation. Once you get 10 people in your personally enrolled network, you open up all the levels, and this is what they call, for anybody that knows anything about network marketing, this is a forced matrix with compression, dynamic compression. So you can be paid several levels deep, because you can have somebody 100 levels down and still be paid if people below you don't have 10 in their personally enrolled network. You just keep, because the computer's got to pay somebody. It pays up 10 levels. So whatever level you're basically on, so if you have 5 members, you'll be paid up to 5 levels of commissions deep. But if people underneath you, say you have people on 20 levels beneath you, nobody else has anybody on 5 levels or even 4 levels or whatever, you're going to be paid on pretty much all of that. And so there is dynamic compression, because the average person in network marketing only brings in about 2.5 to 3 people. Not everybody will get 10. I wish everybody would get 10, because I think if people really understood Kala, everybody would just like, gosh, let's go get 10 people. Because I think you're blessing 10 people. I really do. I really believe that Kala is going to help better a lot of lives, because they're working so diligently behind the scenes to help increase the value and the sustainability of this coin. Now, what's cool about this, so when you look at these numbers, it can get a little confusing. You say, one coin, call a coin. I make $3 with one person. No, you make $1 a month, remember, on one person with one coin. But if that front row fills in, then you have 3 people cross, then you make $3 a month. If those 3 people also buy coin too, then you make $6 a month. If you get your second person, so we're right here on the top right, left hand side, then you get your two in the pen. Well, that's another 9 people that could, say they each get 3 people, or you have people, and whatever, you fill in that line. Then there's 12 people that are each paying up $1 a month to you because they have $100 gigahash or more. Okay, if they decide to get another person, then that's where the 24. That's how this chart works. Okay, so as those numbers fill in, so don't think, hey, I get 10 people, I'm going to make $88,000 a month. No, that's not how that works. That's if everybody fills in that matrix and you're making $1 a month per person. Okay, and if they get coin number 2, you can go up in there. So just be aware of that. That's where those numbers, because obviously you refer 10 people to anything, you're not going to make $88,000 a month. But if the matrix fills in, because they also got 10, they got 10, and they got 10, and which no one will ever see a perfect matrix. Don't think you will, because it won't happen. But at the same time, people do fill in. I had 40 personals. I have almost 2,000 people. So something's happening. So which is nice. But again, I also, I'm pretty diligent. I do a call once a week. I answer a lot of questions during the week. I'm pretty active. But again, I enjoy doing this because I love Kala. Another thing they mentioned when they talked to the CEOs was control, the user experience, the wallet. We allow our members to have 100% control over their Kala wallet. And each coin they will have their own wallet for that coin. Corporate will not control that wallet. That is yours to do whatever you want with. Okay, you can you can sell the coins out of there. You can do whatever. You can transfer them from here to here. You have 100% control of that wallet. I think that is very, very important because a lot of groups that especially do cryptocurrency type deals and stuff, and where they have membership related, a lot of times the corporate controls the wallet. Not here. You have 100% control of your wallet. So this is pretty easy. Just the 4 steps. Step 1, you register for free. If you register before March 1st, there's no annual fee. If you register after March 1st, there's a $50 annual fee. If you purchase at least 100 gigahash or more, you will receive the 3,000 kala a month, and at a $30 a month to keep it coming at 1 penny, and there's no annual fee prior to March 1st. Step 2, you get the gigahash. You become commission active just by having gigahash. And then you save your kala or sell your kala to your new members, because again, starting March 2nd, nobody can come in and buy gigahash, and this is a way to help push internal value through the peer-to-peer. One of the many ways we're going to do, where you're going to hear of a lot of different ways to create value as, again, comp chain and all this other stuff really rolls out, and you hear a lot of different things happening that are exciting. But this is how simple it is. Just kind of follow those steps. And then core, reach, kala. This right here, we talked a little bit about core, so I'm not going to dive into it. But if you want to really learn about core, here's a great link to a Facebook group that one of our awesome members created. So you can go in there and learn all you want about core and about reach. And you can go right down there and just click on that Facebook group, go in there, read it, ask questions, and they're very good at getting back to you. It's a great group regarding core. Then back here, talks about the kala listings, the peer-to-peer, which says launching soon, so I need to basically change that because that actually launched last week. To sign up, how do I say, John, this is actually really cool. I'd love to start with 100 gigahash or more or whatever, and you just click on this link, and it tells you, basically gives you a breakdown exactly step by step how to sign up. You can sign up, purchase right now you can use Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, or something called Trident. You can actually use your credit card. It converts to Trident, and then the Trident converts to Kala automatically. You don't have to do anything. Just go in there, and you can literally use a credit card to purchase your gigahash and set it all up. So get with the person who referred you. They can send you the referral link, and you basically just go right through it. It's very user-friendly. It's a very simple sign-up process. But if you have any questions, obviously, go back to the person who referred you on that. And then the very final thought, I kind of alluded to this earlier. This is what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want, but I'm not just stopping with getting Kala. I will probably purchase some other gigahash from some of these other coins prior to July, but June, July comes around, and I've got a lot of Kala stored up. I'll say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take some of that Kala. So a little bit of it, and I'm going to pick my favorite coins in those 10 coins, and I'm going to purchase gigahash using my Kala because I'm going to convert it to cash or Bitcoin and turn around and use it. And again, I'll be playing with house money at that point, so which is really awesome because it makes the risk a lot lower. And anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and I am going to become a coin collector. So that's pretty much it, guys. Try to keep it under 45 minutes. I kept it at 44, so I was really close, but I made it. So I've got a training coming up here in about 15 minutes on the same line, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now for anybody who wants to listen to this, and then I'll do a short Q&A as well. But I don't like doing the Q&A on the recordings only because sometimes there are questions that are kind of deep, and a new person listening to the recording the first time, it may be over their head a little bit, and they'll be confused. And so I like to do the Q&As after it. So let me go ahead and stop the recording, and then I'll take a few questions. Give me 1 second.